Hey, Rake N Scrapers, welcome back to Let's Talk Rake N Scrape. It's good to have you back. Thanks to everyone that subscribed so far. I appreciate all your comments, and I anticipate having you continuing with us on this journey as we talk about the music of the Bahamas, Rake N Scrape. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification button. This is the way you would know when the next episode is ready. Thanks for doing it. Now, I mentioned previously that I have an opinion on what separates the rhythms of the Caribbean and what gives each of us some form of identity. Because, in the Bahamas, sometimes we have heard that we don't have an identity in our music, or we don't have a specific rhythm. And I believe there's a connection between all of the music of the Caribbean. I'm going to feature, say, 5 different rhythms today to show how I think we create our own or determine our own identity and what makes Bahamian Rake N Scrape connected to but yet different from the other rhythms that are in the Caribbean. So we're going to do Rake N Scrape, soca, compa, reggae, and junkanoo. I say if you take a 16th note phrase, straight 16th, and you place the accent on different notes in different places, you will get to understand the difference between the rhythms. Let's start with Rake N Scrape, and you'll see. This is the way I've been describing what the saw plays, or what Ronnie Butler would have done on his hi-hat, as we talked about in an earlier session. So, if we take that same principle and apply it to the old-time soca, I'd say, but the soca, not the new stuff today, but the old-time soca, which was this kind of rhythm. Same 16-note phrase, just the accent placed in a different place. Okay? Let's do the same thing then with the music of Haiti, which is the compa. And I'd say, that has its own specific rhythm. And if we give a 4 count, 3, 4. Different rhythm, different accents, same 16-note phrase, correct? Okay, now let's do the same thing with, as I say, the old time reggae, which is on the chicka, but the guitar plays, especially with the Bob Marley style of reggae. Then we do the same 4 count. Chicka. Same 16th note phrase. And lastly, if we check out our junkanoo, which does it on a backbeat, and that's what we call it on the backbeat, which is the and one. Same 16th note phrase. So this is what I feel make the difference between what we do as a Caribbean nation, what identifies the music of the Bahamas, separates it from what happens in Trinidad, what happens in Haiti, what happens in Jamaica, where the accent is placed. So to define that in my phrase, to find out your identity, is just to know where your accent is. Now, everyone knows Mr. Charles Carter, Sir Charles, as an iconic broadcaster, television and radio, and is known as the voice of radio and television. But he is also known for his contribution to the arts, especially through music through the years. Those of us that are old enough can remember the Young Bahamian show. And now he has the one that's called These Are Bahamians. But all of these radio shows, he featured the works of Bahamian entertainers. Normally, he's the one doing the interviews, but today I got the chance to interview him and ask how he came about with the name Rake N Scrape. Let's see what he got to say about it.
Well, I don't know how it came about by osmosis, and I wouldn't want to take the full credit for it, but that's the way it turned out for a whole generation of us who are coming about ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, once you start to know who you are, and it's important, and most Bahamians have been fortunate enough to be Bahamians at the right time.
Yes.
And to be around when we were really truly developing ourselves as not just a people, but as a nation.
Mm-hmm.
We created songs. We could sing about the Bahamas. And if you look at our Calypsonians, or those who create music of the Bahamas, I mean, it started from that, and it started in the back of the yard. I mean, we used to entertain ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't go to the downtown places.
Yes.
Some of them were banned when I was a kid.
Yes.
I was very fortunate to have parents who were able to get us beyond that.
The music then, like what I grew up with and hearing, and of course you very influential because I listened to your Young Bahamian show and you introduced me to Tony McKay and of course the legendary Ronnie Butler. But the music then was called Calypso and in some places it was called Gombe.
Yes. And it became Rake N Scrape because it was raking and scraping. We made our own, call it music making whatever, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it started, making cowbells.
Yes.
And then learning how to play on drums.
Yes.
And as I said, we tried to sing. Like Mario Alonso, but he can't sing like Mario Alonso. But the most important thing, Fred, is that we had platforms when we had no television. We had more fun.
That is right.
We had more involvement.
Yes, sir.
We were part of our country.
Yes. Where do you see the Rake N Scrape, quote unquote, today? Has it moved? Has it improved? What's your view on it where it stands now?
I don't think it has moved or it has in any way gotten better because it is not the way it used to be. You know, a lot of this has to be continuous, meaning that what I think our country needs is somebody just reminding them what we used to be, and hopefully that what we used to be will be as good as we used to be.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. We appreciate you and the contributions you continue to make to the development and the survival of the music of the Bahamas. Rake N Scrape forever. Thank you.